you like this video, click like. If you want to continue to follow our adventure, hit subscribe. Your support would be greatly appreciated. Hello, Lows on the Road subscribers and followers. Well, you know what today is? That's right, it's Friday. You know what that means? That's right. It's Easy 5 Friday. And today's topic is 5 things that is an aggravation being a nomad or a pop-up camper, living in a national forest. Now, before I get started, because I know what's going to happen is I'm going to get a bunch of people saying, all you ever do is complain. If you don't like it, then why are you doing it? That couldn't be further from the truth. I do like it. Sorry, I have a hair in my eye. I do love it. Love it very much. But, you know, I've been committed to teach you, I don't like using that word, to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And for the last several weeks now, I've given you a lot of good stuff. You know, my mental health has improved a lot. So as a result, the videos are probably becoming more positive, and so you know, kind of tough. But for some reason, well, I actually know the reason why I came up with I had an aggravating thought, and I thought, oh, maybe I could use this into a Easy 5. Boy, that was a mistake, because we really struggled with the coming up with a list of 4 more things that were aggravating, and we did, and they're honest and that kind of thing. But we've really gotten to the point where we really are enjoying this lifestyle. So let's get started. Number 1, driving to town to get groceries. Being out here in the national forest, it can get kind of far from town. I think actually this one here is probably the closest. Crawfordsville is the town that is closest. It's, I think, I don't know, 20 miles, which is pretty close given, you know, some of the others that we've been to. But it's not unheard of to go 30-40 miles before you can get to a grocery store that is reasonably priced. We try to go once a week, which brings us to another subject of the same category. But it is always difficult, and it takes a lot of planning, because, you know, I make the YouTube videos, I edit the YouTube videos in the morning, try to get done by 11 o'clock. On those days that we have to go to town, I try to get done by 10 o'clock. Which brings us to the, like, 1A. Number 1, A, or B, maybe that's better. Number 1, B, is storing the food. It does take a lot of effort to try to... The problem is the freezer space. It's not the effort to actually put it in the freezer. That's not the problem. The fridge is so small that we can't buy large quantities of food. So that we always have to run back to the store every week, which means that we have to buy foods that are going to last us a week, but still are going to fit into the freezer, and we have to figure out, and we're always looking at expiration dates on meat, on the meat packages. Because if, for example, here it is October, let's say 9th, and if the package doesn't expire until October 27th, we don't have to freeze that, we put it in the fridge. But the rule of thumb is we try to never have anything out of the freezer longer than 3 days. Okay, number 2. Driving down dirt roads, trying to find your camp spot. If you've never been to a location, it can get kind of stressful. The worst I'd ever experienced was in Kentucky, Daniel Boone National Forest. Great Meadows, I think, was the name of the campground. That was I would think, about a 15-mile trip on gravel roads, which the gravel road isn't the problem. The problem is it's real narrow. And so you're driving down the road, and you don't know if you're on the right road. I mean, you're doing the best you can. You got your map, you got Google, and it's telling you to take this road. And so you drive and drive and drive, and the road's narrow, and you think, what is going to happen if there is no camp spot here? What if this road just dead ends? What am I going to do? How am I going to turn around my truck and my camper on this road? And so you keep thinking the nightmarish thing, which is I'm going to have to back this thing up 15 miles. I've sometimes thought if there's ever a pull-off, I'm just going to pull off, unhook the camper, leave it there, go on down the road, just in case it doesn't have a campground, and then I can just back the truck up. You know, I've thought about doing that. That's how bad it is. Just leave the camper, go find the location, come back and get the camper. I've not done it yet, and I've always been successful at finding the campground, but there is going to be one day where I'm sure I am going to get myself in trouble. That is just one of my big fears. I actually watched another YouTube RVer who had the same fear, getting down a road and not being able to get turned around and getting lost. So I'm not alone in that one. Number 3. This one's actually a two-parter. So 3A. Showering in the cold. And that should be pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty rough, and I've made a video about that where, you know, when it's cold, and I would say cold is when it's in the 50s. You know, we shower in the shower tent, and you know, you wait until the heat of the day, or you know, you wait until as long as you can, wait until you get the highest temperatures you possibly can. But you know, we were in West Virginia, we were getting where it was not getting out of the 50s most days. So we were having to endure the cold, taking a cold shower. Not a cold shower. The water was hot, but when you shut the water off to soap up, you get cold. Well, I mean, we did what we could to deal with that problem. We heated the water up even extra hot. So by the time it got to us, it was nice and warm. I mean, you really could get the heat. And then we turned the heater on in the truck, or in the camper, to so that we could just run straight into the camper and get warmed up. So, but the other part of this is 3B is doing dishes. Now we do our dishes outside primarily, and if the water gets cold, you know, we don't heat our dishwater. It just took too much propane and different things. So we always had to deal with the cold water. Sticking your hands in that water, well, it's just like sticking your hands in ice cubes. It's just numbing, and it's painful, and trying to, you know, hurry up and rinse it off, and then you stick your hands in, it's very chilling. So, now, I suppose we could heat the water. We were just trying to figure out how to do it as cheaply as possible. Remember, we were already spending more on propane that month because it was cold and we were running propane, and here it is. What was it? Late August, early September, I guess. But anyway, it was getting pretty chilly. Yeah, it was early September. So I mean, we were thinking it's still summertime, and here we're having to deal with colder temperatures. Number 4. This one's not. Well, no, this one's pretty bad. You wake up in the middle of the night and you realize that your heat has went off. So, and you try not to think what could it possibly be, because you don't want to think that. So you get up and you immediately go running over to the heater and say, why did you shut off? And so you immediately try to restart it, and poof, it starts up. Why did it go out? Well, I'll worry about that tomorrow. And it goes out. And you know what it is. I mean, you absolutely know what it is. The propane tank is empty. And it's happened to me once. And the only thing you can do is just go out and change it. I mean, that's about it. That's the only thing you can do. Unfortunately, the heater still takes wrenches. So I got to go and find a wrench out of the toolbox, which my toolbox is a water cooler. A cooler. An igloo cooler. That's my toolbox. So I'm digging around looking for a wrench, and it's, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever the deal is, and you go out and change it. It's not the most terrible thing, and you know, like I said, the temperatures were in the 40s, so you're not bone chilling cold. It's just an interruption in your sleep. again, it's an aggravation is what it is. It's just aggravating. And I'm sure that all of you are going to tell me ways to check my propane tank, but you know, in the end, sometimes you just get stupid and don't think about it. And you think, well, man, no, I'm okay. There should be plenty of propane in there. Okay, number 5. This one is an aggravation. Getting up in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning again, and having to go to the bathroom. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, you know, I should go in a can and that kind of thing. That just grosses me out. I don't want to go to number 1 in a can. I just don't. I don't, a coffee can or nothing, no. Because then I got to dump it and clean it and, no. I'm going to go to the bathroom. So, if, you know, if there's a privy, I try to get as close to the privy as possible. The privy is a vaulted toilet, so I try to go in the vaulted toilet or into, you know, our, anyway, I'm not going to get into all the descriptions. I'm saying you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you have to go outside to go to the bathroom. Well, it's dark. And here in bear country, you always thinking the worst. So, this is the reason, this one reason is why I came up with this list. This is the one I thought, man, this is aggravating. And then we had a real hard time trying to figure out 4 more. So, going to the bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning is the aggravation. But that's not the worst of it. This what I'm going to tell you is what made it aggravating. Is I decided one morning to get up, got my flashlight, was going to walk down to the privy, and guess what was outside? No, it wasn't a bear. Good guess, though, because that's what I thought it was. It had to be a monster. No, it was a raccoon, and he was sitting on top of our picnic table, licking a plate that I'd forgotten to wash, and there he was. Well, it's in the shadow, so I'm thinking, yeah, it's a bear cub, and Mama's got to be right over there. That's what I was thinking. No, it was just a raccoon, but boy, that was frightening. Not that it was a raccoon, that I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning, barely awake with my little flashlight, and I see this thing on the picnic table in bear country. That's what was frightening. I'm trying to give you the overwhelming, it was just like, what is it? I mean, and the thing was, he wasn't terribly scared until I went, come on, get out of here. And then he ran off. But he looked at me like, what are you doing? Go back to bed. But yeah, that was the thing that I decided, okay, maybe, you know, living in a pop-up camper, what is the aggravating moments? That was the one that really hit it over the top. So, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, well, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video. And happy travels.